What if I told you that with a few lines of React code, you could completely change the look and feel to your application live in real time? Today, I'm going to show you how to build dynamic color themes that make your UI pop and stand out. So let's not waste time. Hit the subscribe button and let's begin. All right, so first things first, let's create our React app using npm create with latest and dot, because we want to set up our app in the root directory. And let's choose React and let's choose JavaScript, plain JavaScript. Use roll down with no and install with npm and start no. Very good. Now we have our React app. Let's install our node modules folder using npm install. It's going to take a while, so we're going to wait. Very good. Now we have our node modules folder. So let's run the app using npm run dev. Now our app is running on port 5174. So I'm going to copy the link and I'm going to run the app right here. Perfect. It's working. Now, the first thing we need to do is to install our packages that we need. So the first package, I'm going to open a new terminal. The first package we need is React icons. So I'm going to add npm install React icons. And another thing we need to add is the Tailwind CSS for Vite. So I'm going to write Tailwind or install Tailwind for Vite. So open this link, and here is the step-by-step introduction to how we actually can install Vite for React. So the first thing we need is to copy this part, npm install Tailwind CSS, assign Tailwind CSS / Vite. So I'm going to paste it right here, enter. Sorry. All right, now, as the second step, we need to open our vite.config.js. I'm going to close the terminal for now. Now let's copy this import Tailwind from Tailwind CSS Vite / Vite. I'm going to copy this line and let's paste it right here. And also inside the plugins here, you need to add the Tailwind CSS. So here you should just put a comma here and write Tailwind CSS parentheses. That's it. Is that correct? Yes, Tailwind CSS. Yeah, very good. So you put it right here and you need to copy this line. Let's go to src. Let's open index.css, delete the whole thing inside index.css and paste import Tailwind CSS. And let's delete app.css. Let's open app.jsx, delete everything inside app.jsx, and we're going to create our snippets using RAFCE. And let's write an h1 here, hello world. So what else do we need? I think we're pretty much done. Let's go to our project here. So we have hello world. Let me try some stylings right here. I'm going to give this h1 a class name of text3xl and a text red 500. Yeah, it's working. Perfect. So now we are ready to start the UI of our project. So the first thing we need to do is to give our first div a class name of flex call, and justify center items center and a h screen. So we have a height of 100 view height and a bg gray 950 and a text gray 100. So this is the first part. Now, all right, let me enter. Okay, so now we need two parts inside this div. The first part, now first we need a container So this is going to be the container. So I'm going to create a div with actually the div as our container. So it's going to be div, and the class name should be W300 and a rounded of XL and a flex in gap 5. So inside that div, we're going to have two sections. The first one is going to be the sidebar, and the second one should be the main section. So for the sidebar, we're going to have a div with the class of flex call, and let's give it a gap of 6 and justify center and items center. Let's give it a BG gray 100, this one, and let's give it a P4, which is the padding from 4 sides, and rounded XL, and a height of fit. So we're going to actually give it a height of fit content. Perfect. Now this is the sidebar. So for inside the sidebar, we're gonna have buttons, our buttons. So the buttons should, let's start from the first one. We're gonna give it a class name of BG blue 500. We're gonna give it a width of 20 pixels and a height of 20 pixels. So this is the button. Now let's give it a rounded full, so it's a circle, as you can see. Sorry. Now we're gonna make it a cursor pointer. So whenever we actually hover over the button, the cursor should change. I'm gonna copy this button. How many times? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times. So now we have 8 blue buttons, but I'm going to change the colors. This one should be actually green, and the 500 should be 400. So this is the second button. Now the third one should be red 400. This is the third one. Now the next one should be yellow, but it should be 300, like this. Now the next one should be purple, but the number should be actually, I should leave it 500, it's okay. Now the next one should be pink, and pink should be 600. The next one should be orange, and orange should be 400. Let's go for cyan, and cyan should be 400. And the last one should be gray, but gray should be 400. Now we have all of our buttons, and they are all cursor pointer. So the sidebar is actually pretty much done. Now we need to go for the main section. So I'm going to create a div. I'm going to give it a class name of font bold. Oh, no, sorry. Let's give it a BG gray 900. Let me check. Well, I think we need to give it a BG of 800. Let me try 900 and see how it looks actually. All right. So, and let's give it a width full. Let's give it a rounded MD, and let's give it a P10. It's gonna have a border right 2, and the border should have a color of yellow 400. So this is now our main section. No, that's okay. I think 900 is okay. We don't have to make it 800. So now inside that div, we need, another div let me create a div as a container. I'm not going to give it any classes, but inside that div, I'm going to create an h1, and the h1 should have welcome to Kodiak. You can write whatever you want. You can write your name, I don't know, your blog name, and so on. I'm going to give this h1 the class name of font bold. This is going to be font bold, and text sm, and text yellow 400. So the default color we're using is this yellow color. So this is actually the default one, but later as we actually make it dynamic, the user can click on these buttons and can change the colors as he wishes. So after h1, let's go for an h2, and the h2 is actually has inside it I share weekly tutorials to help us learn and progress together. So now inside that, we're gonna have a font light and empty one. So it's gonna have a margin top 1, and the font should be light. So under that h2, I'm going to create a p tag, and I'm gonna create a lorem ipsum of 20. Maybe I just make it a little bit more, but for now, let's give it a p4, a padding, sorry, the class name. Inside the class, let's give it a p4. Let's give it a border left 2 and border yellow 400. Border should be yellow 400. And a empty margin top 4 and a BG gray. Now this one should be BG gray 800. So this should look like this. Let's just make it a little bit more. I think lorem 20 was not enough. Let's say lorem 40. I think lorem 40 is better. Yeah. Let's try lorem 30. 30. Yeah, that's good. 2 lines. Very good. So, but after that, we're going to create another P, but there we're going to create a lorem 50. And inside that, let's give it a class a class name of leading 8 and empty file. Leading 8 actually is the space between the lines. So if you make it, for example, I don't know, leading 15, you can see that the space is too much. So I think leading 8 would be enough. And maybe we just give it another lorem 20. So the text is a little bit more. But I think something else we need to do is to wait a moment. Let's change the color of this p tag. This one. Let's change the color. We're gonna give it a text color or text yellow 400. So actually we have the text here as the yellow text. We're going to actually change the color of this text too. So, all right, now let's close this first div. This is the first div that we actually created, the div that has h1, h2, the first p and the second p. I'm going to close it. I'm going to create another div for the buttons. And for the buttons, let me write a comment here so we have a more organized code. Buttons. Now inside the buttons, I'm going to create 3 buttons, button 1, 2, 3. Or let me create 1 button, give the stylings, and then I copy that. So the class name for this div should be flex, gap 2, an empty 10, margin top 10, and gap 5. And then inside that button, first we're going to bring our icon for share alt, and it's going to be from Font Awesome. So as soon as you enter, you're going to actually up above your project, you're going to have this line, or if you don't, you just can type it manually. Import for share alt from react-icons/fa, which means Font Awesome. This comes from Font Awesome package that we already installed. So now let's give this button a class name of text to XL, and cursor should be pointer, and the text should be text yellow 400. So this is the button. As you can see, this is the share icon. I'm going to copy this button two more times. So the second item should be for thumbs up, which is, oh yeah, sorry, I need to import it. So we have here now for thumbs up. So this is the like icon. And the third icon should be for bookmark. But I need to import it again. So for bookmark, and this is the bookmark icon. That's it. Very good. Now the UI of project is over. Now what we need to do is to start making these buttons work. So whenever I click on each button, the color of these texts and buttons and borders, they should change. Let's go. So the first thing we need to do is to create an object of our colors. So I'm going to go up here under this line, const app. I'm going to create my object colors. So I'm going to create a variable const themes, and then it's going to be equal to this object. And inside that object, I'm going to create different objects with different names. So the first one is going to be yellow, and the yellow should have a text which has actually the tailwind CSS of text yellow. Let's say 400, I don't know, 300 or 400. And let's have a border, and the border should be border yellow and 400. Now let's copy this object. We don't have to type it each time. And now for this one, I'm going to change yellow to blue, and then change these two yellows to blue again. But this 400 should be 500. That's it. Now the next one should be green. Now here, let's change these two to green, and this 500 should be 400. Now the next one, we type here red. This should be red. This should be red, and red should stay 400. So you don't change it. Now we have purple. So let's change these two to purple, and also this for purple we actually use 500. Now the next one is pink. So I'm gonna target these two purples here and change it to pink. And here I'm gonna make it 600. This number should be 600. Very good. Now after pink, let's go for orange. These two colors, we change it to orange, and the orange should be 400. Let's do the same. It's a pretty much easy process. Cyan. Oh, sorry. Let me close my Telegram. All right. Okay. So where was I? So I'm going to change orange to cyan, and cyan should be 400. So let it go. Let's go to the next color. The next color should be gray. And we're going to change these two cyans to gray. And then let's leave it at 400. So that's it. Now we have our objects of colors. Now, it's a very easy process. So the first thing we need to do is to go to the sidebar. Let me close everything here. So this is the sidebar, and this is the main section. So I'm going to close the main section. Let's first deal with the sidebar. I'm going to open the sidebar. Now, first, each button, we enter a few times. Each button should have an on-click attribute. So I'm going to add an on-click, and before I go for the on-click, I'm going to create a use state. So let's first do that. I'm going to create a const theme and set theme. and let's equally to use state. And if you enter, you're going to have use state here. You be careful, you need to have this use state up above your project, otherwise it doesn't work and you're going to have an error. So use state, and let's by default we're going to give the value of yellow, and after that we go for this button, the first button, and we give it an attribute of onClick. And this onClick should have actually a, let me enter here, should have actually a function inside. And this function will be set theme, and we're going to change it to blue. So by the time we click on this button, this blue button, this yellow is going to change to blue. And we're going to do the same for other buttons. Let's do that. We're going to paste it right here, but this blue should be green because this is the green button. Now let's go for other buttons. This is the red button. I'm going to copy this onClick and I'm going to change it to red. So this is a very easy process. You can just copy and paste and just change the name of colors. So this is the yellow. This one is the purple. This one is, well, the pink one. And this is the orange one. This is the cyan one. And the last one is the gray one. So now we're done with the buttons. So let's close the sidebar because we have nothing more to do with the sidebar. Now for the main section, we need to see where we have actually where we want our colors to be dynamic. So the first thing is the title that we have here, a text yellow 400, as you can see. Now all you have to do is to erase this text yellow 400, and you need to just let's just bring it back. Let's copy the whole class inside it. Copy the whole thing. Cut it using Ctrl X and erase these quotation marks. And instead of that, you should put curly braces and use template literals. Now paste the classes again. So it actually does pretty much the same thing. Okay. So now you can cut this part, text yellow 400, put a $sign, and after that, you just close and open and close curly braces. And then we say themes, and inside themes, we say theme dot text. So it means that from the object of themes, we actually call it here. We say you should put the theme, which is here, and it should be the text of that theme that we actually choose. So if the text is, for example, text purple 500, if we click on this one, this is gonna set the theme to text purple 500. So it's a very easy process. It's a pretty much very easy process. So if I click on this, you can see that the title gets blue, green, red, yellow, purple, pink, orange, cyan. Oh, sorry for the cyan. I think there is a problem for the cyan because I had an error. I don't know why there's a problem. I have to check it. Let me go for this cyan. I have the cyan here. Let me close this main section again and let's go for these buttons. I have here pink, orange. I think. Oh, why it's be cyan? Yeah, there's a typo here. This should be cyan. This set theme should be cyan. So if you made the mistake as I did, just change it. Just fix it. So, all right. So now if I click on this cyan, you can see that this works. It doesn't have any error. So now I actually made only this H1 dynamic, so I have to go for the other ones. The next one that has a color is actually this P tag. It has a border color and has a text color. So the first thing I need to do is to let's go here and cut the whole thing, cut it, delete these quotation marks and use curly braces, put template literals and paste the whole thing again. Now there's a text color we need to change and there's a border color we need to change. So let's delete this text and let's say we need themes, and let's get the theme and let's go for the text. And beside that, we're gonna get the themes. We're gonna go for theme and we're gonna change the border. So now let me refresh. So if I click on blue, you can see that we have the text blue. The text here is blue, but the border didn't change. I made a mistake probably. Themes, theme border. So, oh, sorry. I needed to delete this border yellow 400 because this is actually hard coded. So now the border is blue. If I click on this, it will be green, red, yellow, purple. Very good. Now, what else do we have? We have 3 buttons here and 1 border in the whole div. So the border is here. So all you have to do is to, again, you need to do the same thing. Cut the whole thing here. Put the curly braces, put the template literals and paste it here. So all you have to do is to delete this border yellow 400 and you need to add theme, and then put the border. So let's refresh. Now everything's working. The only thing we need to change the color is for buttons. So let's go up, down. Here we have the buttons. The buttons here have a text yellow. So I'm gonna cut the whole thing here. Let's cut them. Let's delete these quotation marks. I'm gonna put curly braces, template literals, and here I'm going to delete this one. I'm gonna put a $sign and we say themes. Oh, sorry, themes, theme, and we're gonna change the text color. So all I have to do is to copy this class name and paste the same thing for all of them. Very good. So now, as you can see, the buttons have changed as well. Now, if I click on blue ones, everything gets blue, green, red, yellow, purple, pink, orange, cyan, and gray. So this was a very easy practice for you to realize how you can actually have dynamic themes. This was actually a very small scale project. You can actually use it when you're creating your portfolio or something like that. This is going to be a very useful method to have a beautiful dynamic color theme changing. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope it was useful for you. If you liked my video, if it was useful for you, please hit the subscribe button and leave me a comment to support me. Thank you so much.